Hello everyone, my name is Alexander Svienton, and we get here Irina Temciuc as well. Happy to have you here with us. Today we present to you two juries of Re-draw Pompidou 004. We get Francesco Deraco and Berk from TOFU and Cage Architecture. Today we are planning to discuss a little bit about their stories and also about how they became the juries of non-architecture competition, and also to talk of course about the entries and the winning proposals of the competitions from a few months ago. Hello guys, it's a great pleasure to have you with us.
If you don't mind, joining us today.
First, we would like to also say that we get a discount code for the non-architecture competitions, that it will be shared in the chat. That with this you can get 20% of discount on all of the competitions. So feel free to use it, and you will have it or here on our YouTube streams after the discussion. Guys, if you don't mind, would you mind present yourselves? Who you are, what do you do?
Who would you like to start?
Francesco, I think so.
Like you start. I don't know. You go, Berk. You go first.
Okay. I'm Turkish. I studied in Turkey. I studied architecture in Turkey, and then I went to Barcelona for my master program, and I dropped off there. Came back to Turkey, started TOFU with my partner Melissa. I think she's also here right now. And for the last 5 years, we've been running TOFU and Arcade together. And TOFU is a website for architects for their contents in digital.
Thank you. Francesco?
And Francesco.
Francesco. I'm the founder of Cage Architecture. April 16th. April. So I ran Cage for 6 years, and I studied architecture in Bari, but also in Spain for 2 years, in Cartagena and Valencia. I graduated 3 years ago, and now I'm not into architecture much. I'm with Cage, yes, or architecture, architecture, okay, and we can say I like this. I like ideas. So for this reason, I continue to run Cage because architecture is something about us. So I have to.
I think we might lose you. Okay, but I think we heard the kind of basics of who you are, what you did, and how you kind of started. Guys, and with this kind of basic knowledge, and before we go to the competitions itself, as I said you before, just before we started streaming, I said that I was trying to find any information about you, and there was nothing, like completely nothing. You were really discreet with everything. In complete contrast to what you do and how you promote, because each of you has over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and I know that you got many users and subscribers to your pages, which has amazing content, and I definitely encourage everyone to have a look and to read, to look and to download and to buy, of course. And my question is, why you are so kind of discreet and in complete contrast to what you do on everyday basis? Berk?
I think I can start. Okay. I don't know. It's not a conscious decision for me. I just didn't I'm not that much interested in the social media or something. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm kind of active there. So it's not like something I choose not to. It's just I never got into that, and that's pretty much all. And for the company things like social media and subscribers, it's a teamwork. So it's not like personal thing on the company. It's just like promoting and like sharing stuff. So even though I'm not taking part in that daily basis, I enjoy like following them, and I just don't do it in personal level. So it's not something I did on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Francesco, any different view to that?
You have to repeat the question because I didn't
Of
hear you
course.
because of
Uh,
my connection. So
Of course, don't worry. Why you are working in contrast to kind of your cage architecture, which has hundred thousands of followers, and you as a personal accounts get a little bit less. But is there any kind of relation, or is there any rationale for that?
sorry, I was the question is why my account, my personal account, has less followers, no, than Cage Architecture.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to tell first that I created Cage Architecture first. So I created my personal account on Instagram, for example, 2 years later, Cage Architecture. So this is the first reason. So and 6 years ago, it was very easy to grow on Instagram. So I remember that 6 years ago, I reached a lot of people, a lot of followers with simple content, easy content in a while, in some weeks. Okay, and this is the second reason. I have to tell you also that I don't like, in general, to spread my personal things on social media in general, and I like to express myself, my job on social media. Just this, not myself as a human being, no. And then we we know that social media, especially in this moment, are something more oh, my phone, are something related to people, not to companies. Okay, so if you speak your life reach more, this is my too much first. Just this. But I prefer to share contents, not personal contents.
I totally
And
understand.
I'm 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 on LinkedIn just to answer to but I don't use it. I use it. So but I like it.
I understand, and I think that's a good, thing to say to everyone that sometimes it's not worth it to share everything what we do here and to create professional lives. And okay, we got this, and you decided kind of to create a really nice brand because you are one of the first and actually one of the biggest now guys in the profession in terms of kind of I
Sharing.
I wrote it as a resourceful architecture. That's architecture full of resources that can be shared and used by everyone. And that's a beautiful idea because I think each student knows you and used your product somehow. And why did you decide to do it? If you got any thought like this.
Yeah.
I'll probably change a bit the question. Why did you decide to move from architecture to something just linked to architecture?
Yeah,
Berk?
I
I
create
thought you were asking.
but go. No, don't worry. It's my connection that I heard something and then I start, but don't worry. Go back.
I don't think it was again like a conscious decision. Like my partner Melissa was drawing like characters back then, like in 2016-17 for her own competition entries. And at the time, I was at Barcelona doing my master thing, and she just told me like, let's put it on the put it on website. We already had Popu as a domain name, and we were publishing things related to architecture there. And one day she just put it there, and in very like close time frame, this product was like €1 because we had to put it on a price on the like because of the website thing, and it was just €1, and people start buying it, and she drew the second one and third one, and then it's been 5 years. Now we are doing all sorts of things, but it wasn't like getting it a business or something. It was just something to like do for ourselves. I think at that time we were both not happy with our career going, and suddenly we saw another path there, another option. And I think it's a pretty good thing because like architecture can touch many areas, many fields, and that's why you can always switch or like add variations to your path or do things like that. And so I think that's what we did at the end. Also, we weren't really happy with the like available content online, so there was some conscious decision, but not for business. We just thought, yeah, maybe we should just publish this because these look kind of better than the other ones that you can find. That's what we thought back then. So the first thought was like it wasn't about business at all. It was just like building something for ourselves. We just want to maybe get our names out there, just like I don't know, get
Against
known
someone.
in that way. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's nice to see, that a little bit of this accident and luck, and of course your knowledge and skills, pushed it forward. But this a little bit of accident somehow, okay, you came up with the idea is an interesting point here.
Yeah, there's like absolutely like there was luck, that's for sure. But if you just keep looking for alternative ways, eventually you bump into one. So and if you like it, you just take it and go. That's what we did.
Okay.
What about Francesco?
Yeah. What I started, I started because my professor of architecture. Okay. Okay. So
We don't hear you very well, Francesco.
It's very interrupted.
Sorry. You can hear me now?
Now it's better.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. I started from the beginning. So when I started Cage, it was because my professor of construction, okay, told me to read more books, okay, but I don't like to read any books. I don't like to read, okay, and then but I always wanted to improve my skill or my everything, okay, so in drawings, in everything. So I almost I decided to open Cage because it was a way to share things in a cool way. So I like to share things out, share projects on other people's, etc. But it was not. It was good for me. Not reading, okay. So the reason. Also the same professor liking. I didn't like him, so once he was a good professor. So I want to really try to show him some chapters and my new
We are losing
project,
you a little bit.
but he heard me. He so he can hear me. He didn't about new projects, new ideas, new architecture, etc. I want to prove that new architecture could be a good thing of this stage, ideas, and
You a little bit.
Yeah.
There were moments that were good. You did something at some point. We might
It's
have lost
okay.
him.
Yeah, we lost him.
Don't worry.
Oh, he's back. It's okay.
I'm back.
Mhm.
It's my connection.
No, it's all right.
I'm so
No, we
sorry.
are far
I'm
away.
sorry.
It's understandable. No, don't worry about this. It's technical problems.
I mean, we got the essence probably at the beginning. That's a really nice story. Getting back
Okay.
to school.
Okay, we get this. We get the stories, and then you become the jury at some point of your career after the years of development. And we know that it had to be a lot of amount of work just to get to this point to become a jury. Was it satisfactory for you to become a jury of the competition?
Yeah.
It was.
Okay, and no, before we
Because this is a lot of- okay.
go on,
Don't
Francesco.
worry. No, I participate. I love the of competition was really cool.
We don't hear you, Francesco. I'm sorry.
Francesco, we are losing you all the time.
No, I just said that I participated at a lot of competition as a student. So become a juror of those competition is really cool.
And how was the experience of switching from a participant to a jury?
It was really nice because you have the power to change.
No,
Yeah,
I
it
can imagine.
was really cool. Really cool to see a lot of projects. Really, really cool.
No, I can imagine. Um, okay, Pompidou, guys. Pompidou, it's an important building, and before kind of we start, I would also kind of I would love to bring a little bit of a background and a brief that was given
Yeah.
to the
That'll
competitors, you know,
be
40, 50 years ago.
a
Yeah.
brief reminder on the brief.
Yeah, on the brief and kind of the distinctions that we have now and before. If you don't mind, I will read kind of one sentence from the brief.
Yes, please go
So
ahead.
in 1970s, the idea was to create a landmark building in the heart of Paris that would reassert the city's preeminence in the arts and culture, as much as it tried to appease the very same rioters who had been barricading streets and throwing cobblestones at police cars. That kind of sentence shows kind of the times that it had to be built, what had to be done, and kind of to emphasize the public aspect that was not done for many years, especially in Paris, because the previous competition, the public competition for architecture in Paris, happened while Bernini designed his building. When Louis XIV ruled the country, so a few centuries before. So that was a huge event at that time, which is an amazing story. You can read kind of these few facts on the Talk Insights. I just shared kind of a short essay about this and other entries to the competition. Maybe someone will get inspired. We move from the monster of Paris when it's constructed, yeah, a huge name all around kind of the newspapers. It lasted 20 years just to get some acceptance, to the positive news about it.
There is a, sorry to
Yeah, go
interrupt,
on.
there is a nice story when Pompidou Center was just built and Rogers was on the street and met a woman and he was probably saying that, oh, I'm the architect of this building. So that woman was really angry on him because she, from her Parisian perspective of never seeing such things before, literally got angry for something, for such an appearance. So this was the public reaction
I
on
know this
such a
story.
building. Yes.
And yeah, through
It's
this,
creative.
we go now to the competition of redesigning kind of our perspective on this, and this is what was kind of the competition about. Was to redraw the Pompidou from our perspective 40 years now later, and this is what I would like to talk about, guys. Like how the perspective has changed over the years, from what you know, from what we kind of said, kind of these few things. What have you seen in the competition entries? What were the common themes in the proposals? Berk, would you like to start?
Yeah, of course. I think morphologically it has like pretty dominant elements. So in the entries, like naturally everybody drawn to it. So I think it's both like must do to redraw that, but also something that you could get stuck at because they are too dominant, and just by trying to like recreate that, you almost redraw it. So in a way, it's easy, but like since everybody takes it that way, it's not easy to get away with that one. And like in terms of discussions, honestly, maybe it's because of me and my link to architecture now, but I don't think like there's too much discussion going on right now about Pompidou. Like I don't know if there are like really current discussions about it. But I think it's normal. It's almost 50 years now, and it's been discussed many, many, many times. So, like, I think maybe in the competition, what I would like to see is like check the aftermath of those discussions, because there's no need to recreate those discussions that made 50 years ago. But I really would like to see that what happened to those discussions over, right? Like what public thought about it, because we have that power now that we can see 50 years ahead of those discussions, and now we can see, okay, so what happened? You were worried or you really liked it, but what does architects think about it now? But I think the worst kind of thing happened on that term. It just doesn't get like that much attention right now, and I think that's the future of this kind of things. And in the competition, I always see that like they, I guess, review it or just understood it as they are supposed to like review everything about like it's 1970s, and but it's not, things are like really different now. I mean, that would be amazing to see both as like from participants to maybe in the competition definition to like what happened now. So that's what I think about it.
Mm-hmm. Francesco, thank you.
I just want to add something. So when the video was projected, it was considered a monster, okay? But if the Pompidou was designed, okay, nowadays, okay, I think it will be considered also a monster, but for the opposite reason. So at that time, it was considered a monster because it was a visionary building, okay, and it was not understood at those time, okay. And now I think it will be not understand it will be not understand for the opposite reason, because it can be considered as an old building, no. So this is something we can think about, because we can think about how far architecture goes, no. And just this.
Yeah, I I agree. Of course, yeah, we can discuss how far it goes. And now I need to narrow it down somehow, guys. Um
Yeah.
no, from yeah. What? Sorry, just give me a moment. I need to kind of
What
follow
was,
it up.
so let's go a bit back to competition. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Probably people after seeing it were already redrawing it in their minds because they wanted to change it, as it wasn't something following the visual aesthetics of the Paris all the time. So what do you think about the reinterpretation you've discovered in these competitions? And do you think some of them might actually be better as a replacement later on? Do you think it's a good idea to
It's
redraw
difficult.
it, to change it?
It's difficult to say better. It's difficult to say better, but I think I think they both they interpreted the project as Rogers tried to that time, Rogers and Piano. So I think they I can see in some of the proposal something like a future vision that we can see in some movies, some so a projection of the building to the future. So a visionary of the building as Rogers and Piano had at times. Okay, so I uh, some of my of the proposal I preferred were that robot or part on the building. I like them because it remind me movies from Villeneuve or some movies from I don't know Blade Runner. So trying to interpret the building in in a future way. Okay, so this is what I like most about the proposal.
So the idea is that in the end, you realize that they didn't try to change it, but to visualize it in a different, let's say, era.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. As we can see in some movies, for example. So I really appreciate this kind of.
But did they focus on kind of the most important elements of the Pompidou, or they actually delve into the particular niche or particular elements of the architecture? What have you noticed in the visuals of the participants? More urban, let's say, broader view.
I think they try to we can see a lot of proposal in which they try to extrapolate all the elements from the building and try to reconstruct them in a new shape. For example, a robot or robotics part, etc. So they try to like like a joke to think about that uh, Paris monster, etc., and to construct them with those elements and to translate those elements into a real monster, a robot or another monster. Okay, so I think is a work of elements, a work of elements of the building. So I really appreciated also the fact that um, they can I can't I can say they really try to reach to see all the elements of the building and to use them for a new building in a future way. So like I think Rogers and Piano could be proud of this kind of work. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Oh,
the
actually, that's a
goal, just I don't know at the moment, but I think that 30 years Rogers and Piano way that project Pompidou could be proud of, can be proud of the work done for redrawing in this kind of way, in this kind of vision, their building. So this is what I think. It's not about. It's not about. Um, sorry, Alex. It's not about only about ideas and about impossible architecture. It's about um, um, it's about trying to redrawing something that it's not only doing something impossible. Okay, it's like it's really interpreting a building that exists. Okay, in a future way. So it's not as simple as it can be think.
Do you think that this kind of interpretation or abstraction of the building can be treated as a critique, or it's more just an abstraction of a building, as a critique of architecture?
I don't think it's an abstraction of architecture. I don't think it's an abstraction because I in every idea, every ideas we can always see something that it's really cool and we that we can really think about it. So it's not about a pure gesture, a pure exercise of rebuilding something or rethinking something. It's about of putting ideas on an architecture that exists. And every ideas could be cool, and could be something that we can talk about it. Okay, it's really something that um so we talk about I don't know it's easy to say that this is only an exercise of rethinking, but every idea have potential to discuss. Okay, so this is what I think. So, and this is what I think. This is because I think idea is more powerful than its realization.
And
Beautiful
what do you
advice.
think, Berk, about it? Yeah. Sorry. What
What?
do you think,
Sorry.
Berk,
Participants,
about
be
it?
cool with your entries, yeah. No, just summarizing. No, really good thoughts, Francesco. Irina, sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what's Berk's opinion on this, on the same point.
Mm-hmm. About like critique versus abstract thing. Yeah, I don't think like I'm not so sure if you can separate them because like in order to like make an abstract representation of it, you gotta have some opinion on that, which is like having some like it requires critical thinking. So even though not all the representations are controversial or like heavily theoretical, critical thinking includes this kind of thoughts behind that. They were all abstract, and I think they all had some kind of point in their head. Not, I don't even remember one entry. Just redrawing it, just making like abstract concept drawing of it. Because as a nature of it, like I don't think they could actually do that since it's the competition. I think people really look for different angles here, which is great thing, like a great exercise. And I mean, there were really different ideas. There were really fun ideas. I really like that. I mean, it both fits the competition type and the building, and I think it's just like nice to see this kind of entries too, because I mean, for me, that's what I understood from the illustrations. Some people just like made fun of it in a really clever way, and which was really nice to see.
That's a nice thing to say, to make fun in a clever way. Of an interpretation, yeah.
Yeah.
No, redrawing.
Irina, I just want to add.
Go on, Francesco.
No, I just want to add one thing. I don't remember the name of the project or the designer, but there was a project of rebuilding for that was a map of Paris with the at the center with the Centre Pompidou, and there was like an octopus of building that goes all the streets of Paris, etc. So it was just an idea. It was just, of course, it was not something that you can design, okay, for real. But it was a really cool idea to discuss, okay. And I think the power of ideas is something that for me is more important than its realization. So we can discuss for weeks on ideas, and then we can try to find a solution for its realization. So okay, and this is what I want to do with Cage in general, okay. But this is why I like Re-draw so much.
I agree. I'm just
That's a very good point, yeah.
I'm sharing entries in the chat in the right corner. You can find this. I'm just sharing from time to time. Or the ones that
exactly this.
Yeah.
Exactly this one. Exactly this one. Exactly this one.
Yes.
No, it relates to what you said earlier. That how this Pompidou, reacts to all type of architecture. Yeah, and I think this kind of entry shows that. That all to the bigger scale, to the city scale, or also to the smaller one, which is kind of the nearest surroundings that we see. Also above you can see kind of this monster that you said about, kind of the element of Pompidou altogether. So what has pushed you to choose the winner? Because I saw your comments about it. I will also share it in a moment, which is the monster decentralized. What do you think about that? Of entry of Doruk and Alper?
Yeah. You are sharing it on the messages?
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
No.
Right now.
it's already there.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember if it was my first choice, for example. I don't remember, but it was for sure one of the first three. Yeah. And in general, what I can say in general for every redraw I participated as a juror, what I can say is that is always design, of course, so representation of idea, okay. And one thing I always that I always see is that if I can easily understand your idea through your 5 hashtag, through your concept, through your design in general, I appreciate. Okay, I think they can see me.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, all good.
Okay, I don't know if
Okay.
you heard me.
No,
I was
everything was really
talking
clear.
about what I evaluate in general for redraw. So not only for this project, but this project fits well. In general, what I appreciate a lot is that if I can see easily, if I can understand easily your idea, in a while your idea easily reach me through your hashtag, through your design, through your drawing, I appreciate it. So your ideas will be not simple, but will reach and will be visible, easily visible to me as a juror and to all the people. So this is what I evaluate well. And also in this case, I evaluated very well the design in general, the concept, the axonometric drawing, of course. And this is I think I wrote something about this project. I don't remember, but
Yes,
I think
yes.
I wrote a comment. Okay. I
If you
don't
would
remember.
like,
I don't
can I
remember what
read?
I. Yeah,
Yeah. At first glance, a labyrinth of tunnels, halls, spaces connected like a monster that fits on the city. Their colors and precise shapes, however, reinforce the nature of the Centre Pompidou. A coherent and precise building. I like how this axonometric manages to bring out all of the elements of the building.
exactly this. Exactly this. Because he puts colors on every elements. It's like the Centre Pompidou without ceiling, okay? And it's really the idea, the concept of the Centre Pompidou. So a machine, like a machine, a monster, an industrial building, etc. Without ceiling, that like an octopus goes in every street, in every building, surrounding the city, surrounding the plaza,
Mhm.
uh, the center of the Centre Pompidou. So yes,
I think I think it's a really nice idea of showing that this building became a catalyst in changing the whole area, and it brought a lot of new things. This is why it might be. So that's a really good point about that. Definitely. What about you, Berk? What are your criterias on
Mhm.
analyzing and
Yeah, it was my first one. I mean, I like gave it the highest point. I think I can say that, right? I can just explain it, I guess. And yeah, like there was, as I said, really dominant element. So I think you gotta see that in a redraw. So I had something in my mind, like I was start thinking after I read the like brief about competition, like before seeing the submissions. So I think the morphology is really important here. I mean, you gotta take it as a building because, like, at the end of that is the building. So I wanted to see the morphology. I wanted to see the spaces, and like as I said, the dominant elements. That of course, I guess almost every entry, except like a couple of them, use these elements in a way like similar color coding or like in a similar abstract way. So yeah, that's one of my things, and almost everybody had that. And I think in the second one, I can say like the context, like how they perceive the building, how they like, is it just building, and what does that mean for Paris? Like how to, uh, yeah, how do they view it? I guess that was it. And I also thought about like it's a redraw competition and it's pretty simple, just one image submission competition. But I also want to see the theoretical part of it. Like, what do you think about it? Like, where do you stand in this discussion? So, uh, I mean, you don't have to choose a side. I think that was their also like description of their project. We don't pick sides, but I want to see a statement actually, and they had like really nice statement. Like not choosing a side in this discussion is a statement too, which what I like about it. Besides like illustration quality or visuals and things like that, I kind of like their statement, I guess. because they say, you know, everybody sees it that way, this way, everybody thinks different. We don't mind that. Everybody has their opinion, but this is what it is. This is Re-draw of it. So, and I think it really fits good with the scope of competition. So besides my personal thoughts about it, I kind of try to think in terms of like competition terms.
So kind of
Hold on, I will
theoretical and
just
practical.
open the lamp. Sorry, it's just too dark here. Hold
Yeah,
on
of
for a
course.
second.
It's really nice that you have a totally different approach, actually, but at the same time, it's coming with a lot of common points. So that's actually great to see.
I'm really happy to hear that you know this theory is not forgotten because sometimes in the recent years when we look at this architecture of hundreds of projects on ArcDaily, Design and others, I'm saying they are great, of course, these websites, but that you said that there is also this theory that's really important point for me personally, and I hope for others as I can see as well. Okay, but here we see kind of also very high quality image, yeah, which is really nicely done, the winner. But I would also like to ask for the people, let's say, who hasn't developed yet, let's say, the skills, yeah, the technical skills of softwares and things like this. You mentioned ideas, and do you still think that we don't always need these amazing visuals to represent the idea? Maybe simple question, but
Start or Francesco?
Berk, yeah, go on.
Yeah, it definitely helps. You know, it cannot hurt to have a beautiful image. Like, I think it's a general thing, like not in just architecture, in everything. Like presentation matters, make it pretty, and people who hasn't developed that skill yet, I don't know, like you gotta develop it some way, and it's not like some broad and these guys like Doruk and Alper, I guess the winners like developed and it's done. It's just like your progress. You gotta try to do it better every time, and I think like there's a big factor of like talent, but you're not limited to that. I mean, like I cannot say the idea matters more. Like at the end, maybe in like different competition in different projects, but always try to make it pretty. You know, it never hurts.
Yeah. Francesco, you're Italian, so
I
beauty new.
Aesthetics are
no
important.
no. I uh,
We lost you.
We lost you.
match it. Yeah, more or less, and almost the answer of Berk. So
Can you
can you
repeat
repeat?
the first question? Would you mind?
We couldn't hear you properly.
If you can repeat the question, Alex, because
Can you can you repeat the sentence, the first sentence?
Yes.
I almost understand the question. Your question is about the if it's more powerful, it will be more the idea or the representation of the idea. Is correct or no?
Yeah, and also kind of the graphical skills that are represented. If this is also really important as the idea.
Yeah, yeah, and I almost understand the answer of, and it says, but tell me if I'm wrong. You said that it's about your progress, no, Berk?
Yeah.
It's about
Yes.
your progress. Okay.
Mhm.
I agree with you, but in every competition, it's a moment. So it's really a moment. It's few seconds sometimes. I'm not talking about self or when I am the juror for Re-draw, but in general for competition, it's about a moment. So some jurors evaluate your project in a moment, in seconds. So you should. This is why, and this is what I said before. The power of the idea. If I can reach, if I can understand your idea in seconds, it's 50% good project, because and this is why the representation and the design, the choices of designing, etc., etc., etc. It's really important for me, really important, because in this competition it's a moment to be your progress. But I think nowadays we have all the programs, all the videos on YouTube, all the stuff we can ask to make really to represent a good idea in a good way. So I think it's very important to the representation of the idea in general.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. And I wanted to ask also kind of this question, to show to everyone what kind of they need and this advice that can come from the jury for the next competition. And that discussion was about this, and I wanted this to be about this, and I hope we kind of got a few points, like the clarity of the idea, also this graphical skills that needs to be represented, that can push this a little bit further, and also theoretical and practical combination into the entries themselves. Guys, from my side, I don't know if you would like to add anything, but you perfectly finished the discussion, and I hope encouraged everyone to join to the later stages. Would you like to add anything, to ask any questions?
No. Viva las ideas en español.
Vale, muy bien.
Gracias, Francesco. Grazie mille. Yeah, and in Turkish? Thank you.
Thank you, because I didn't understand what was that. Teşekkürler. It's a hard one.
Teşekkürler.
It's a difficult one.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Teşekkürler. It's
This was
fine. I'm good with languages. I'm fine.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I have nothing to add, actually. Thank you very much for having us. It was really nice to talk with you, and hope to see more great projects in the next competitions too.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much. It was a really great pleasure. And to everyone, we repeat, nona-talks is a code for discount for the next competition entries that you can enter from here. Here or here, you will see them. And thank you, guys. I think many people can get really good insights into how the competitions are judged. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much for being receptive on our call. And it's probably the first and the nicest experience to actually get in contact with the juries and know what happens just in their minds without getting in touch with any participants. And that's great to see your point of view and to have a discussion only with you. So that was amazing. Thank you. That's an experience of a new kind.
Let's keep in touch, and we encourage to join the Discord channels to comment and to discuss with the rest, because you are a great addition. It would be a great addition to the community. Thank you so much, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you, Irina. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, guys, all. And let's see on Re-draw.05.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
You can watch the repetition of the video on YouTube, probably in a few minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
That's great.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.